fluff, no bullshit.
Guys, this is an episode of the Bad Toro podcast, and you're not going to believe who I've got here with me today is Julian, the Redzilla, the condom filler, right now in Barcelona, Julian Reyes. Say hello to the three people that are going to watch this, Julian.
Hello, Julian Reyes. Everything you just said is accurate, except the part about the condom filler. Definitely not a fan.
Not a condom filler. No, not a condom guy. Like, what is it?
Rather jerk off than have sex with a condom. So,
all right. Dude, by the way, jerking off, this has been my favorite sport growing up. Like, I go to these events right now, and these kids are like, they're 21, and they're like, "Hi, my name is Nick, and I have a business. I have an agency, and I have like 81 people staff." I like, dude, whenever I was fucking 21, I was trying not to jerk off more than fucking 15 times a day because I got these severe headaches. Why the fuck are you, when are you gonna live, for fuck's sake?
I didn't miss a day. I figured out how to jerk off by accident. I don't know. Let's talk about it. I figured out how to jerk off by accident. Just like, it was like, no one ever taught me how. It was just like one day, I was rubbing my wiener after. I was like, oh, that feels pretty nice after a shower. And then I was like, I remember the thought, I was like, I wonder what'll happen if I keep rubbing it. And next thing you know, the most magical.
Hold on. How old were you?
I was 12 years old. I think it was November 14th, 1991.
All right. Okay. Because that's where my fucking first jerk offs were, around that time. Yep. But how it happened to me, I went to our attic, and my uncle is an artist. So he does paintings and shit like that. So I found this pile of magazines where he had like naked women to draw, So then I was looking at these magazines, and then, it started getting hard, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I started, just rubbing it on the top of my pants. I didn't even go all in to grab it and, like I know how now, because now I'm so fucking good at this shit, man. I know like every angle, every way that it needs to go in order to get the right amount of juice out there. But yeah, and then it wet my pants, and I was like shaking and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It felt so good. It felt so great. Yeah. So like 2 months later, you couldn't open these magazines anymore because they were like so fucking stuck. They were like fucking bricks, man. Like I finished like 10 times on each one of them, on each fucking page.
Toto, let me ask you a question about that. After you figured out how to do it, because I kind of remember roughly from the day you figured it out, how many years went by where you didn't miss a day?
Oh man, probably fuck me, man. I think that's still going on, man. I don't know. It's like, but hey, it was a while. Let me tell you, it's a while. But then, you know what? Since we're on the fucking subject, all right, let's go fucking first times or whatever we had sex, right? Okay, so I was a late bloomer maybe I was an early bloomer whenever it came to rubbing one out, but I was a kind of a late bloomer whenever it came to having sex, because like most of the guys from my school had already had sex, or at least were fucking saying it. And I was like 17 or something, and the girl was 15.
Nice.
Fuck, dude, like it's never.
I shouldn't have said that. First off, you're both minors, and you're probably in Bulgaria. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, dude, I mean, nobody fucking knows about it until now, so it doesn't even matter if it's fine or not anymore. But anyway, that was the most awkward fucking time of my life, bro. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was just fucking like a fucking penguin, just going up and down on her, and I don't know like how far I penetrated. Then like my fucking dick ripped on the top there, and there was fucking blood from me, not from her. It was so fucking embarrassing. It was like, fuck.
All right, that's pretty bad, but mine's much worse. And
Whoa.
Much worse. Like traumatic worse. And I'll just say this: I had just turned 14, and and I had just also gotten out of my first year of juvie. So I had just done like a year in like these sort of institutions, and my mom had moved to a new city to give me a fresh start. And I had just like moved in, and I looked a little bit older at the time, like because I could grow some facial hair. And I'm out on the street at night, walking into my mom's apartment, and there's this girl this pretty hot girl walking her dog. And I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. I thought about she was in the fucking apartment, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
No,
Like,
no,
you
no,
walk into
no.
the apartment and she's just sitting there. I was like,
She
shit.
was she was eventually, but I started talking to her, and I asked her how old she was. She was 19. She asked me how old I was, and I said I'm almost 17, even though I just turned 14. And we started talking. Within about 5 minutes, and she was very attractive, as I recall. Within about 5 minutes, she just sort of interjected in the conversation. By the way, I'm a nymphomaniac. And I
Oh,
was like, word. Okay. I knew what that meant. And I was
you
like,
did?
cool.
Dude, I fucking realized what a nymphomaniac meant whenever I was fucking 21, bro.
Oh, bro. I had an
You're an you're
excellent
an
vocabulary.
early fucking bloomer, man.
No, I just had a good vocabulary. But here's the thing. I over the next couple weeks, like we started hanging out. Like she'd give me rides, places, we'd talk. Now I'm just gonna say it, I mean, I'm not like a micro penis or anything like that, but I'm not even today a particularly like well-endowed man. Okay. And when I was fucking just, turned 14 years old, I was even less. Okay. So it was not a lot to impress anybody. But for whatever reason, over the next couple of weeks with this girl, hanging out with her, I don't know why, but I just started lying to her, telling her about how fucking huge my dick was,
Oh
like
my
over and
God,
over. And she
bro.
was like, that's great because my ex-boyfriend had the biggest dick. I can't wait to see your huge dick. And I'm like, I built it up. I built it up for like weeks. Oh, you don't even know. I'm half Puerto Rican, honey. It's massive. And I committed to
Oh,
it. And then one day, and I also told her how sexually experienced I was on top of that. I was like, oh, I fucked a lot of girls. And she was like, yeah, cool. You saw your experience. Of course, I had never even seen a vagina before. So we finally, the moment of truth, we get, the expectations are sky high. We get into my mom's apartment. Mom's at work. We go into my bedroom. It's daytime. And, there was no love. There was no passion. There was no like romance. There was none of that. It was just like, all right, time to fuck this huge dick. And I remember, if we're gonna get, a little bit raunchy here, I'll say it. I remember, I touched her vajayjay. For it was the first one I'd ever touched,
yeah.
and I recoiled in fear, like, whoa, it's wet. And she was like, looked at me kind of confused, like, well, haven't you ever touched a vagina before? You said you had. And I was like, well, and I tried, I was smart, and I backtracked real quick. I was like, well, with my dick. I never did it with my fingers. And
Yeah, of course, of
I was
course. That's what
like,
I would have fucking
yeah,
said.
I pivoted just with my dick.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, yours is really wet. And then I can't believe I'm telling this. And then the moment of truth, and I pulled out, my little friend, all 4.5 fucking centimeters worth. And and I just remember like the look on her face was like she tried to kind of mask it, but she definitely was like unimpressed. And she got, we had sex. She blew me for like a minute, and that felt incredible. And then we had sex for about, I'm gonna say good 90 seconds, the most unimpressive sex that anyone ever had. And after that, she just like looked real fucking let down.
To say the least.
And then she left and never heard from her again, man.
Oh man, you still chasing that? You still,
Ugh.
you still wish you had Facebook back then?
It's like funny, like for guys, there's this sort of societal expectation that like losing your virginity really is only important for the girl, right? And that like for guys, we're just trying to lose it. But it was ironically a few months later, I met like my first kind of real girlfriend, and really fell in love with her. Actually, her name was Jane. And I wish I had waited, because that experience with that girl, besides being pretty traumatic, was like a really deeply hollow experience. So
Hold on, but like afterwards with the guys, what was your first thing? Because the fucking moment I banged that girl back
yeah.
then, the first thing was going into school the next day. It was like I fucking owned the place. It's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what do you mean what's up? I fucking fucked last night. Like that was what I was fucking going around telling everybody for a fucking week. That was my highest moments since I was going to that fucking school.
Nah, I
You
got
didn't
you.
have that?
Nah, I got you, because it was such a hollow experience. The only somewhat relevant experience I had was like a few weeks later. I forgot my mom was like yelling at me and she was trying to treat me like a child and something. And I looked at her and I said, well, I'm not a virgin anymore. And then she just burst into tears and started crying and just cried her
Oh
eyes
my God. Fuck me, man. This is who you got to fucking share this with? Your mom
yeah, I told my
first?
mom. I told my mom.
Oh my
Mm.
God, man. Like I fucking told every guy I fucking knew. I was like just going through my phone book, just calling them up and like, guess what happened? Guess what happened?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man. All
yeah.
right, good stories. All right, but hold on. You threatened me on the boat, on the fucking boat trip. You threatened me with your tranny story. You said once you go in with this, there's like everything else fucking,
Mm.
looks pale and unimportant and
Well,
insignificant.
I mean, look, it's fine. I mean, look, all I can say is this. I was in my 20s and in my 30s, really up until like a few years ago, I was very sexually active. Perhaps on a psychological level, it was like I was just trying to recover from that first experience when I was 14. Who knows? But I was very sexually active. And one thing I know is that if you're sexually active enough and you have enough partners and you're promiscuous enough, one of these times there's a good chance, well, I'll just tell you what happened.
All right,
I was
man. Yeah,
I
that's what I'm trying to get here.
I think I was like 26 or 27, and I was, my first business, which if happy to talk about at some point, was I was a start off as a pickup artist, professional pickup artist in New York. And I was
Somebody else told me about that, and I was going to ask you about that, but I
mm,
don't know who. I think Maor or Jason or somebody told me about that, and I was going to go after this, but we'll get back to this after your story. Come on.
so I'll rewind a minute and just say started off as a pickup artist in New York. That was my first business, and that's how I started to develop eventually some marketing chops. But I was very active. I was very passionate about like sort of mastering, because like just like anything, any art form or any science, like a lot of it has to do with like mastering your own emotions and mastering yourself, right? Same thing in business for me. And I was passionate about it. So I just remember the subway was like one of my favorite places to try and meet girls. So one day I'm in New York City on the subway train, and I see this beautiful, beautiful girl, and she had a little bag on. She was Hispanic. She had a little bag that said Peru on the bag. And I don't know, I don't even remember what I said, but I walked up and was like, "You're from Peru? My whole family was raised there." I don't know what I said, some bullshit. But we ended up exchanging numbers, and I think I could say her name. It's just her first name. Her name was Amerly, and I invited her out. At that time, I worked at a male strip club in New York City as well on Friday and Saturday nights. So I
Hold
would
on, hold
always
on. Whoa. Like what were you working in the fucking you were a fucking stripper in a strip club?
I was in the beginning, I was what's called a massage boy, which is basically like I was in shape back then. You walk around shirtless, you hump on the girls, they shoved all their bills down your pants. But the owner quickly figured out that I was Jewish, and he was like, "I'm gonna put you in charge of the money, son." And and then eventually I started to sell the guys. I basically became for 5 years like the madam of Hunk Mania.
Wow.
I sold over 1,000 manwiches. It's like a sandwich with two men.
Fuck.
And in my time there, so I still have the record to my knowledge, and sold all the hot seats. But I digress. Point being, after Hunk Mania on every Friday and Saturday night, I'd get a table at a club and like pull like the cute girls from Hunk Mania to the club, get paid by the club. And so at one night, I invited Amerly, this girl I met on the subway,
All
to the
right.
table I had at some club. All my stripper buddies were like there. She was hot. She was dancing. Her tits came out like,
Oof.
during my friends were like slapping me five, like, "You're the man, Jules." And I felt super cool. And then we went back, to my house, and, we made out for a couple hours. We cuddled, I sucked on her boobies, the whole thing. But every time, I tried to, whatever,
Oh my
get her
God.
get her pants off, she kind of was like a little hesitant. And of course, I was
Okay.
respectful of that. And then the following week, the whole thing rinsed and repeated. I was like, "Oh, come out again." And she slept over, by the way, that first time. Then the next weekend, she came, we went to the club again, dancing, titties out, the whole thing, homies slapping me five. And we get We get back to my house once again, same thing, making out, rubbing boobies, the whole thing. And finally, at a certain point, naturally, I kind of reach down, towards the jeans, and
Mm-hmm.
I try to kind of slip my hand in the jeans as a man does. And she kind of grabbed my wrist, and she said, "Do you know me, Julian?" And I was like,
Ooh.
I like paused because I was like, that's like a weird question. Like, I've never heard that question before. But I pivoted. I was like,
Especially right before you grab the punani there, and it's
right,
like, do you
right. So,
know
like,
me? Yeah, it's like,
definitely,
okay.
I noticed it. It was a little red flag, but like nothing kind of fully clicked yet. And I was like, I'm sure I said something like, "Of course I know you. Babe, you've got a wonderful personality. That's why I want to fucking fuck." and
Okay.
um, and then we made out more boobies rubbing and all that stuff. And by the way, she went down on me before that. And I kid you not, I'm not just saying this to preserve my own ego. It was the worst blow job I've ever had. It was
Really?
horrible.
Because like
Horrible.
people say that like the
Nope.
men give the best fucking blowjobs and shit. Like,
I'm sure
okay.
some do, but this
All
one
right.
fucking
Not
did.
this one.
Not this one. I was trying to explain to her, it's not a fucking bottle cap.
And
Don't
she should know.
You
She
should
should know.
know. She didn't
Yeah.
know. It was like that's why I remember now.
Hold on,
I
hold
was
on.
like,
What
what?
the hell? One sec.
What happened?
Siri came on for some reason. I don't know. Oh fuck! I said Siri and she came on again. Shut the fuck up,
Fuck
Siri.
up, Siri.
All right, we good.
So I remember, that's why I remember the blowjob was, I remember now, the blowjob was so bad. I was like, the only way this is gonna work is if we have sex. So, I'm trying to reach the hand down again after more kind of, token kissing and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And then she grabs my wrist again and she says, "But do you really know me, Julian?"
Oh,
And I
but
was
hold
like,
on. Like whenever she grabs your wrist, because you're like you got a hefty wrist there, Julio. Do you
well,
feel do you feel the strength
in
behind that grab? Like because like when a girl grabs your wrist, it's like yeah you can hold on to that, but I can do whatever the fuck I want. But
in
did
in
you feel the
retrospect, in retrospect, the only red flag, after I thought about it, after what I'm about to tell you happened, but afterwards I thought about it, and I do remember thinking like, yeah, her hands felt like a little bit rough and knobby. Like her
okay?
hands, that was the giveaway when I really think back. There
Okay.
was no Adam's apple, there was none of that other stuff. The hands. But she grabs my wrist and she says, "Do you really know me, Julian?" And I just remember right as she said it the second time, she lets go. And I'm thinking, like, that's weird for her to say. My hand slips down, past the underwear, and boom, not a vagina. Not a vagina. Definitely not a vagina. Definitely not a vagina. And I just remember in that moment, I still remember, I had like my body had a physiological response because I was so shocked that my heart started, I could hear my heart. It was like so fast. And I kind of slid away. She slid away on the bed. I wasn't like mad, I was just shocked. And then I remember, I forgot what I said, but she basically said, "Oh, I thought that you knew." And I was like, "No, I didn't fucking know." And like that was it. Then we talked for a little while. I was like, this, I've never experienced anything like this before.
So you didn't see it.
Definitely didn't see it. No, absolutely
You
not.
didn't see the dick.
Whatever
Okay.
it was, it felt, I don't know, like I think she was taking hormones, so it felt like shrunken, or it's too much
Like a
information.
fucking frog.
Yeah, like a dead frog, like they got smashed by a truck. And
Well,
then that was it. Then she kicked off her boots like she was about to sleep over again. And I was like,
oh,
look, I was like, honey,
I gotta go.
yeah, listen, I'm sorry. I was nice about it. I was like, but I don't really feel comfortable. And that was it. Then she left. But here's the moral of the
Ooh.
story. As I said before, I was in the very kind of heavy pickup artist phase of my life. I'm well past that phase now, of course, but I was in that phase. So I was, sleeping with a lot of women for about the next year after that incident. Anytime I was with a girl and we were getting hot and heavy and making out, and I would reach down towards her pants or her skirt or whatever, if she ever kind of as women do, and it's totally understandable. I know you can't really say this in today's day and age, but if they play a little hard to get, or like, I don't know, or they start, my heart would start fucking racing again, and I would like listen to like that incident, and I would actually be the one to stop and be like, look, I can't do this, I gotta go.
Is there a dick?
I was traumatized, man. That shit fucking traumatized me.
Fuck, man. Well, thank God that's never happened to me up to this point, and I hope it never does, for fuck's sake. But
That you
yeah.
know of. That you know of, bro. I'm telling you, I have friends that have gotten blowjobs from dudes and didn't know it was a dude, found out way later. I have a friend that like was with this super hot stripper chick, and she was like, no, just fuck me in the ass, but she like was hiding her balls with her hands. And
Oh my God, they do that? Oh my God. Like, how could you not? How could they fucking hide it, bro? Like, I couldn't hide it.
there are pros, man. There's pros out there. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is hearsay. I actually kind of believe it, but I heard one of the male strippers, he was the MC at Hunkmania, his brother, who I knew, who was also a stripper, his brother apparently, now this part I have doubts about, his brother was like this early MMA fighter, like big, strong, kind of tough dude, very masculine dude. Apparently, he was tricked for 6 months and ended up moving in with this chick, only to find out 6 months later it was a dude.
Ah, fuck, dude. Come on. I don't believe that shit. Come on, man.
Me
6
too.
months?
I
6
mean,
months? What the fuck are you guys doing in these 6 months?
listen, that male strippers were not fucking Einsteins. You know what
All
I'm saying?
right. Well,
I don't know. Most of them, but anyway, there's my
all
transvestite.
right, man. That's a cool fucking story. And there's loads of morals in that story, boys and girls, that you should listen to carefully and try and see how that plays out in your lives. All right, so let's go to the business part, like
Yeah.
the pickup artist thing. Like how does that translate into a business? How did that sort of become a business?
I mean, look, man, it basically, I was in my mid-20s. I had, at that point, I'd gotten, I thought, like really pretty good with girls, right? Like socially good with girls, good at sleeping with girls, because I went to a conservatory for theater, for musical theater for 4 years, before that, where literally it was all girls and gay dudes. I was the only straight man in my entire class. So that put me in a huge position of power, really. Like girls literally showed up to my door at my apartment in the next city sometimes saying, hey, we don't have a lot of options here, Julian.
Ooh.
So and then after that, I moved to New York, was doing the whole acting thing, and also was working at a male strip club where it was, again, all fucking girls, 200-300 girls every Friday and Saturday night. And I was the general manager, madam dude. So basically, like, I was the one guy that the girls saw as like, oh, he's this nice, cute boy that's not a man whore on stage swinging his wiener around. So like I had so much, just by environment, I had so much kind of, I guess, selection and options, that my confidence was, sky high. And so then eventually I found out about really what was an emerging industry, an emerging vertical, which became the seduction space. And I immediately, my acting career was kind of on the downturn. I was looking for an opportunity, and I immediately was like, here's an opportunity. I'm good with women. I feel like I'm a good communicator, a pretty good teacher. I bet I can make some fucking money at this shit. And started teaching little workshops in New York City, taking guys out to clubs and bars, and
On how to pick up women?
how to pick up women. Yeah.
Wow.
How to pick up women. And eventually I became friends. I was in this documentary about pickup artists, from many years ago, probably 15 years ago. And no, 16 or 17 years ago, actually now. And the guy that was the other sort of main kind of character in this documentary, I just had this feeling about him that this is a brilliant guy. This is a visionary guy. I could tell from the outset, and I liked him a lot. So we became friends, and I kind of he was the one within a couple of years who was like, dude, we got to learn marketing. We got to learn how to sell. We got to learn how to write copy. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And I kind of latched on his coattails for a few years and used his growing enterprise to develop my chops, particularly in the copywriting arena.
Right.
And that's how I really got into the space.
Awesome, dude. I never fucking knew that. That's a really good story. Who is that guy? Who's the other guy?
So
Is it
very few people know who he is, because like in my mind, like in the direct response world or in the internet marketing world, like the people, there's the gurus, right? There's the gurus that are out there putting their faces on the stage and marketing themselves as these authorities. And then there's the fucking ghosts, the ghosts that are the ones behind the scenes, actually like making big shit happen, doing big deals, scaling traffic on paid media sources. And he was a ghost. His real name's Ryan. I don't think he'd mind me saying his real name is Ryan Kowalski, but in the dating space, his moniker was Vindicarlo. And in 2010, we wrote an offer together we wrote the VSL together, actually, called Pandora's Box. And that went on to become, and still to this day, I think is the best-selling dating advice offer of all time. But I got to give him, really all the credit, because, he was really the visionary pushing things forward. And, I was there kind of, learning and practicing my craft. And eventually I, went off on my own and started doing my own shit.
Wow, dude, that's so cool. I don't know much about like the dating space at all. I've never been into that. I know a lot of the guys like from the affiliate world and all that shit have been into that, like the adult industry dating. I've never been in that. I've got no idea, but I just know that there's a lot of money in there and a lot of people are making a lot of money by it. Hold on, you had what was this? Whenever we were on the boat in Mykonos last year,
Yeah.
you were telling me about, what was that product that you were selling? Like how to turn straight guys gay and some shit like that. What was that? What was that called?
Well, I'm surprised you forgot. You did half the R&D for the offer, Todor. And I want to thank you. I never really publicly thanked you for
All right, here we go. There you
the
go.
voluntary participation that you did.
Anything for you, man.
Well,
I went through a lot of R&D to get. I got a lot of dicks. I got a lot of dicks,
especially the D. Yeah, but mostly the D part. But no, so what happened was, after Pandora's Box scaled in early 2010, it launched. By 2012, it had scaled. I think it did $35 million.
Wow.
2012. And by the way, I didn't actually make any money off of it. I was sort of, stupid about how to structure deals, clearly. But eventually I left and launched my own offers. And by that point, which is like 2013, 14, the Pandora's Box had really become such a huge offer that it kind of, to some extent, tapped out the whole space. Like it was that offer peaked the whole vertical, and the vertical's never recovered to that point since that offer ever. No one's had a dating offer that's come close to Pandora. So in 2014 or 15, I was like, I wonder if we could apply everything we've learned in the seduction space, whether it's like sound bites, price points, principles, funnel structure, to a brand new market. And then I was like, well, what about the gay market, right? They got what are the dinks, dual income, no kids. A lot of money in that.
That's true, man. That's true.
With that demo. So I was like, how do we apply what we've learned to a brand new demographic, create a new category within the vertical, basically, and see if we can like get shit popping again. So then I was like, all right, the problem is I have some gay friends from college, and I have a really good gay friend still to this day. And like the promise in the straight seduction space was, I'm going to show you how to get laid. Okay. I'm going to show you how to get a girlfriend. I'm going to show you how to get laid. Super simple benefit and promise. With the gay demo, that doesn't work, because it's super easy for gay guys to get laid. Like they can, even if they're ugly, they can go out and be like, hey, want to suck each other's dicks? Sure. Let's go. So I then thought about it, and I was like, I realized at a certain point that a lot of gay men really, really like straight men. Like that's the forbidden fruit. That's the bragging rights. That's like us dating the supermodel, right? Like
smart.
The hot straight guy. So then I thought, okay, how about straight bait? We'll call it straight bait.
Straight bait. Fuck.
Straight
Yeah, that's
bait.
what it was.
Yeah.
Straight bait. Yeah.
Straight bait. So the original tagline for it was find out if he's curious. And then wait, but I modified it eventually to I think is even better is if it doesn't feel gay, you can go all the way.
Oh,
That was the
okay.
second thing. So what I did, but here's the cool part. Here's like the marketing. I think the cool marketing ingenuity behind it was at that point, I didn't have a lot of capital. I didn't have a lot of team. Like I had a good programmer, a really good programmer, and I had a good traffic guy, and I had like a freelance designer. That was it. It was like 4 of us at that point. And I went up to Big Bear and spent like 2 weeks in Big Bear, and I just wrote my ass off. I wrote a VSL. I interviewed like my gay buddies about it to make sure, like, you know, does this make sense? Does this make sense? I wrote a VSL, and that basically the promise of it was, I'm going to show you how to like get with your straight best buddy, and wrote it. But I didn't want to expend, like, because I was taking such a risk with like something that had never been done before, I didn't want to expend money, resources, and the months that it would take to build like the product, the back end, get the merchant accounts, all the tech, the members area, et cetera, et cetera. I basically asked myself the question, how do I get proof of concept on this risky idea without spending months to find out? So I went to Big Bear, wrote the VSL, had my developer just slap the video up on a simple page. And then after they watched for whatever 15 minutes, as most VSLs do, a little buy button would appear. They'd click it. It would take them to a cart page. But here's the trick. It was a fucking fake cart page. There was all the information. It was all the benefits. It was, here's enter your credit card information. They would enter in all their information, the ones who decided to buy.
Right.
And would click it, and it would go to a sold out page. Sorry,
got you.
Straight bait is sold out.
Yeah.
Entered on the waiting list. Your credit card has not been charged, which we didn't do because we didn't have a fucking merchant account.
Yeah, but you still got how many people are going to hit that?
Right.
You know, how many people are going to go all the way? Like how many conversions you're going to get?
We pixeled the sold out page.
Okay.
So we could see, you know, basically what we did was I took whatever, probably $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, and I had the one sort of traffic guy I had on my team at the time, and had him just start buying gay porn traffic, right? And he started buying it, and we were tracking the quote unquote conversions we were getting.
Okay.
And it was costing us about $65-$70 to get a sale. But I knew, based on the price points that I was advertising, plus the continuity program associated with it, that conservatively that my LTV would be $200 to $250 conservatively. So
what were you selling it at? Like what sort of price were you selling it?
$69.
Oh, $69. And the CPA that you were getting was 65, 70. Right.
Plus I knew that if we passed the proof of concept stage, that I would add upsells, one-click upsells. I'd bump my AOV to 100 or 110. Plus I'd add a forced continuity program back then, for $100 a month for more videos and more content. And so as soon as we had that data, we knew we had a hit. And like, we went to Phoenix Forum, which was like an adult conference that used to exist. And it's a great conference. And, we started just running around, finding all the gay traffic brokers and guys who had gay, data, and was like, dude, we're sitting on something really big. And then we battened down the hatches and spend the next 2 or 3 months just writing the upsell letters, writing the upsell content, interviewing, we put out ads for like gay guys who claimed that they were amazing with straight guys. We interviewed those guys. We created all this content. We got the merchant accounts. We got everything. We built the members area, and then we fucking launched it, and it scaled,
so
man. Like,
how long did it take for you to do all that? Because that sounds like so much fucking work, bro. Like it sounds like a lot. Like how much did it actually take in terms of months to build it up?
Man, I mean, I interviewed a lot of people, but I wrote everything myself. I wrote the VSL myself. I wrote the fucking product myself. I wrote the upsell letters myself. I wrote the upsell content myself. I hired a guy to be like the interviewer for the continuity program. So he would interview a new guy every week that like, or a straight guy who had experimented and, figured out that he would suck a dick or let his dick get sucked. And so I would say that all that prep probably after the VSL was written and we tested it to create the entire back end. I don't remember exactly. I'm going to say 3 to 4 months. It was a minute.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's to me, it sounded like longer. Like to me, it sounded like a year to get all this fucking done in place, but 3 or 4 months sounds good.
3 or 4 months. And then it's
all right. So
scaled.
you launched and whenever you launched, what was it like? Well, how did it go from there?
Well, so here's the braggadocious cool part, and then the fucking kind of not as cool, like honest part. The braggadocious cool part is that offer became like the hottest for several years, became like the hottest gay offer out there. And like I mean, all the Adam for Adam and Adult Friend Finder and Grinder and all we were everywhere. That's the cool part. And that offer was such a unique, cool ass offer that we to this day we still get fan mail about it. But the part that the more honest part is that despite all that, I think our biggest year, that offer probably did 1.5, 1.6 million top line. In other words, it was a niche enough offer in a smaller market, at least within the traffic channels that we had access to, that that's a $1 million or $2 million a year business tops. Like you can't scale something
beyond that
to $50 million,
Right. I get you. All right, man. That's really interesting. I mean, that was a very smart thing for you to do, like to twist whatever you gathered from the Pandora's box and just fucking go into the gay direction. That was fucking smart. Good thinking. All right. So what's your thing now? Like 2022, where are you sitting now business wise? Like what's your cash cow? What brings you the cash to live the lifestyle that you're living? Look at you living like a fucking king, rolling all over Europe, Barcelona, eating sushi off naked models on top of the mountains in Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. That's like you're living like a top dog, brother.
Thanks, man. Well, that all may or may not be true. That is all true. I wouldn't say it's weird because like I've conquered a lot of my, and I'll get to what we're doing now in a second. I have, especially in the last like 2 years, like really conquered a lot of the business and financial goals that I'd had for fucking years, and that I had begun to attribute so much sort of holy sacred value to. Like, I will make it, I will become the multi-millionaire, and I will grow the business to this and have X in the bank. And then when I started to hit those goals, man, I was like, what the fuck? Like I had the high for about a week and then actually just deflated and like, well, what the fuck's next? And, anyway, we'll talk about that later maybe. But the point is these days is that, I would say we have 4 or 5 different cash cows, which is cool because we have, like, I guess to use a stock analogy, like we have pretty good diversification. So if like one, like
super important, bro, super important. This is what I've been fucking preaching for the last sort of year and a half. Don't keep your fucking eggs in one basket, because I've had my fucking eggs broken so many times, bro, and I've had to restart, and having them sort of diversified in different baskets is what fucking keeps you afloat if you drop 1 or 2 of them fucking baskets.
And they will drop. Like,
they will drop, man. There's no different opinions on that. They drop all the fucking time. I mean, with shit like the iOS fucking updates, Amazon changing fucking algorithms, or banning something,
COVID, freight costs,
COVID, dude, sure. everything fucks up all the time. You just got to be ready for that shit.
And just to add on top of that, which of course is true because there's all these, things happen that are out of your control. On top of that, even if everything goes right, offers fucking die. Offers have life cycles, at least like in our world, in the direct response, long form copy. Like the bigger of a home run you have, the faster it's going to burn out. Even if, and we do all the, we refresh creatives and do all that, but they still have life cycles. And so our answer to that has been diversification. So right now I think we have, I'm pretty damn sure actually that we have the number one survival offer out there. It's a survival info product. It's a book that we sell. And we've had such success with that offer that that we've basically, and Jason Active's been a big help for me on this part of the business, but we've basically started sourcing inventory from really, really good factories in China, like sourcing generators, sourcing water pitchers, sourcing dehydrated food at some point we'll do. Just
By the
sourcing
way, just while we're on the fucking topic, I can help you with the dehydrated food, because we in Bulgaria have one of the factories that's fucking supplying NASA with dehydrated food. Seriously.
No shit.
And I'm talking to the guys right now. I mean, I know the guys that run the factory. Just putting it there because you just landed there.
No, we should get on a call with Hefter too, because Hefter's very interested in that project with this, and I do love that man. But anyway, point being is like we've decided to like really, I think we're disrupting the entire survival space right now. Only a few people really know that, but because we're creating, this is the first time we've done this. We've always created back ends before with either more information or supplements. This is a different kind of a venture where we're creating a back end that has a little bit of a financial moat around it, because we're shipping, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory.
Right.
Of course, that increases our exposure and our risk, but we're doing that. So that's one of our cash cows right now.
But that is perfect right now with everything going on with shit in Russia, like wars coming on around the fucking place, like China getting ready to go into Taiwan, and fucking shit happening in everywhere in the world, plus COVID and everything happening with this. This is like a perfect timing for something like that. I don't know if you I don't know if that you had that in mind whenever you did it, or that all happened after you were already doing it and just like boosted your fucking operation there. But whatever it was perfect timing.
I'll tell you how it happened actually, because I do think it's kind of interesting. Another honest statement. A lot of it was luck. Where like so let me pivot, and then I'll pivot right back to
all
this.
Right, go ahead.
Okay? So we launched at the end of 2019. We launched the first, this is when Andrew and I met, Andrew, and became partners. We launched the first biblical CBD offer. And it basically, the pitch was, if I'm going to elevator pitch the VSL, it's basically something like 2000 years ago, there was a mistranslation in the Bible. And
oh my God.
Because of that mistranslation, by the way, there's a lot of biblical evidence to support this. Because of that mistranslation, we've been mixing holy oil wrong for 2 fucking millennia. It's not calamus that goes into the shit like the Bible says. It's cannabis. It's cannabis.
Oh.
We wrote this whole pitch that basically educates the conservative Christian market about this evidence, and then we sell them a book that teaches them how to get their hands on the real holy oil ingredients, including CBD. And then on the back end of that, via another corporation, we just sell them
the CBD.
The holy oil with CBD.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we launched that at the end of 2019. By the end of 2020 or early 2021, we had scaled it up significantly. In fact, that I do know for a fact that is the best-selling Christian offer of all time right now.
What?
All time.
Dude.
The one before that was Shepherd's Diet, which Andrew, my partner, actually wrote the VSL for years ago. That was like a biblical keto thing that scaled to the moon. But
Shepherd's Diet?
Shepherd's Diet. Yeah.
Well,
that wasn't our offer, but that was huge on ClickBank. It was like massive ClickBank offer. Jason Active actually is the one who scaled up the traffic on that via A4D. But we surpassed that, I think, a year ago or a year and a half ago with Exodus, which is our biblical CBD offer. And that's scaled up, right? So that's to this day is one of our cash cows. Now I'll pivot back. So as we built a huge list from the Christian list, of course, we're mailing third-party offers to monetize our data, right? And continually, one of the offers that we would mail, third-party affiliate offer, would just like crush to that data. And it was a survival-esque, do-it-yourself home energy info product. In other words, how to sort of build your own alternative energy source.
Like a generator?
Well, sort of, yeah, like a solar thing or a generator. How to build your own solar power.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Was sort of the concept of the book. And every time we mailed that third-party offer, I think it was a ClickBank offer, it just crushed to our list. And that's been sort of an established category of survival for many years. 10 years ago, Chris Haddad wrote a similar type of do-it-yourself home energy offer. That concept's been around. But I was like, well, shit, man, this offer has been crushing to our list. Let me look at their marketing. And I looked at their VSL and I was like, this is a B- fucking VSL. Like, it was just, I knew we could fucking destroy it, because the biggest thing that it lacked was urgency. It had no urgency. So instead of making it about, oh, here's the benefit, home energy, save money on your fucking electric bill. No. It was, guess what, motherfuckers? The Russians are targeting our incredibly fragile power grid. It ain't nuclear power you should be worried about. It's the power grid going out and us falling into a modern day dark age. So we had this urgency.
Oh shit.
And here's the mechanism. Here is the book. We're going to teach you how to build your own, home energy solution. And then that's Dark Age Defense. That's our survival book. And then on the back end of that, now we're selling the generators and we're selling the water pitchers and all this other shit. So the point is that the different cash cows have all sort of tied together synergistically.
Yeah.
And even led to the discovery of the next one in some way.
Wow. Sounds really cool, man. Fuck me. That's brilliant. So you made like a 360-degree survival kit, everything for the survival crazies. And there's plenty of those in the US for sure. I mean, we don't have that many of them in Europe. That's, it would be a problem if you try to scale that offer here in Europe. There's far less people that would be going like into those like bunker modes and shit like that. But wow.
Hey, man, America the Beautiful.
Yeah. Still really good, man. All right. Geez,
so that's and then last, I'll just say we have one other big cash cow, which is and this is sort of was Andrew's background, before we partnered, but just supplements. We have a supplement business.
Okay.
We've got two of the biggest erectile dysfunction supplement offers right now. And, we just all of these offers. We also have a financial advice business that, again, on a statement, we still haven't broken through yet. Like, I don't know, like that business probably is doing 30, 40,000 bucks a month. Like, we haven't. Every time we try to scale it, the CPA gets too high, but we're working on it. We're going to crack it. So we have, whatever 4 verticals like in our pocket. And, although that might be dumb, we should probably just focus in on the shit that's scaling. But we like a challenge, and that's it. Those are the different cash cows. But the big ones for us are survival, Christian, and then health supplements, and particularly men's health supplements. We also have one of the biggest prostate offers out there. It's called Gorilla Flow.
Yeah, men's health. When you say men's health, you mean like the dick pills, right?
Dick pills, Dick tea. We got a Dick tea now. We got prostate. Prostate's a big for us as well. Like anything to do with men's issues.
Right. That's always been a thing, though. That's always been a thing. You can probably keep on. You probably have a lot of competition in that as well, because
tons of competition. But
because like in the survival space, I don't know if you've got any competition, or at least any like major competition from what you've just told me. Like, that's so smart, like to pile things up the way that you've done that. I don't know if there's many companies that do that.
Oh, there is.
Is there?
The number one company in that space right now, at least for the time being.
As we're making this podcast here, we don't know what's happening tomorrow. All right.
The number one company in that space called For Patriots. I think they're about a $200 million a year company, and great guy that runs it. Super cool. Maybe he'll end up fucking acquiring us at some point. But we can do things that they can't do. We can sell at a level. We can tell stories in a way that I don't think they can do. What they have done is pretty incredible, though, which is they've just their moat is money, which is that they're buying at such, and I'm talking about high cog, units. These are like $400-500 units at cost, right? They're buying millions and millions of dollars worth to get those cogs lower. And that's sort of, as far as I can tell, that's their competitive advantage. But, but we have our own advantages too, and we're getting there.
Right.
And one other thing I'll add to it is that, like, every offer I've just named, from going back to straight bait, to Pandora's box, to, to the survival offer, to the Christian offer, to everything, the financial offer, our engine for every single one of those offers that's really never changed is the video sales letter, is the fucking VSL.
That's what you're good at. That's what you would say is like your sort of top, I don't know, gift.
That's our superpower, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's what got us to the dance. We've never forgotten that. Like, when I started, on my own, it was, as I said, it was me and like 2 or 3 people. These days, we've got a team of, I think we've got 7 full-time writers now, and me and Andrew as well. We still write. Andrew's CEO. I would be a shit CEO. He's a brilliant CEO. You should get him on this show at some point. He really runs the company. I'm much more focused on the creative, on writing, on working, mentoring our writers, on biz dev, sourcing opportunities for the business. I do still manage most of the banking for the business, at least on the strategy side. And that's it, man. But the VSL is really, that is our, if I had to attribute like one thing that got us to this point, and I think this year will probably, if Q4 doesn't suck like it always does, we should hit 60 million top line with good margin. If it does suck, we'll, do maybe just over 50. What got us there 100% is the video sales letter. That's our mechanism.
Dude, I want to get those off you somehow. Like, I want to see them. Like, I've never actually seen those video sales letters of all your products, but like, they're so fucking diverse. It's crazy. Like, one of them is like straight bait, then you got the Christian one that's selling holy oil, then you got the survival one. Like, these are so different in terms of topics and in terms of demographics that you're going after. It's crazy. So you gotta be a hell of a fucking salesman to be able to doing that. Like, I wanna really see them.
But I think that's, well, listen, if you want to see the gay one that you participated in years ago, you can just go to makehimcometoyou.com. Make him come to you.
All right, I'm writing this down, and this is purely, guys, it's purely just to see Julian talk.
I'm not in that VSL, dude. I didn't put my
but you wrote it. Make him come to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can spell come either way.
Okay. All right, I'm in there. I'll see that.
But I was just going to add just that, like, the cool thing about the VSL structure and learning how to write really good copy. And then, of course, like, I don't want to say now, like, to get to this stage, a lot of it has been focused on infrastructure, focused on team, like developing leaders in our team, identifying and developing talent. Like, of course, like, to get to the stage, it's not just about the copy anymore, no doubt. But what's cool about like learning how to getting really proficient, really skilled at writing great copy is you can apply it, as we have, to extremely diverse niches and verticals. And all you have to do is just the initial research to understand who the market is. And then you can apply all of these, selling principles and writing principles to anything in the world.
How big is your team, by the way? Like, you're saying that you're training people?
50 people, maybe 52.
50 people?
Yeah, right. Like that. We're pretty lean, actually. Like, we have about 25 full-time customer service agents, and then about 25 or 26 or 27, like what I'd consider like full-time core team, like, 6 or 7 people in the operations department, 7 writers in like the creative department. We've got 2 or 3 freelance designers that we're using right now, but we're trying to, bring one or 2 in-house at this point. And then we've got the who else is there? Finance team, payments team, Andrew, CEO, and then I'm just the guy that goes on the boats and fucking uses the company credit card.
Well, thank God for that. That's how we got you. So hold on, like most of those offers though, they're like digital products, like just the the survival stuff that you've been telling me about right now. This and the holy oil, which apparently is like some company that's producing it, and you're like telling them send this here, send that there. But you
Yeah.
don't have any other physical products. All of it is more or less informational products, digital products that they pay and they receive some book or whatever.
Yeah, so we've got both, like obviously our supplement business,
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
supplements on the front and more
Yeah,
supplements on the back. But the most profitable models, that whether it's on the Christian side or on the survival side, the most profitable model that we found just looking at the P&Ls, over the years, are information on the front, right? Which essentially liquidates your customer acquisition cost. And then on the back, something physical, whether it's a supplement, whether it's a generator or a water
right,
pitcher. Because
right.
the beautiful thing, the advantage that we have is if you can sell information. Remember, with information, there's no cogs, there's no cost, right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
sell a fucking ego.
That's the sweet spot with this fucking thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So then now, if you sell a generator on the back end outside of your cogs, it's all profit at that point. So like we try to just break even or even profit a little bit, on the front if we can, and then just use like the back end physical products to make our margin and
Right.
continuity.
So the generator and the water pitcher, these are things that, they're not consumables. Like once they buy them, they have them, they can use them. But like that, the what's it called? The dehydrated food and all that. Now, these are like the consumable supplies that you can keep on feeding them in
Yeah.
on a
Great
monthly
point.
subscription plan or whatever. So that way you're closing down the whole fucking thing. I love that because you've got like the information side, which gets them onto this. Then you have like a few devices, which give you some profit. And then you feed them in with some sort of thing where it's like shakes or whatever, like vitamin supplements and their dehydrated food that they have to sort of either keep or use within a certain time period. And then they need to get
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
So
man. No,
that's
it's a great point. It's a great point. We've just, we're at this point now where it's like there's so much going on. There's so many different projects. There's so many, different people, and it's a lot of shit going on, man. But it's exciting, man. It's an exciting time for Red Hot. So,
right.
and the other thing I'll say is like, as far as we've come, and by the way, like I believe and choose to believe that like we're just at the tip of the iceberg still. Like we're coming for the 10-figure boys. Like they're in our sights, and we're looking hard.
Yep.
They better be looking in their rear view too
They
if they're
better
smart.
be fucking looking because we
Mhm.
coming.
But I was just gonna say that however far we've come, like I absolutely have learned like that I could not have done this on my own, and that I've had, certain people in my journey that have, really helped me, whether it was, Ryan is his real name, from years ago, kind of pushed me into the marketing realm, to Jason Akatif, man, like
Oh,
Jason, bro, like that
dude.
man. I mean,
Jason changed my entire life. I'm
yeah,
sure he's changed a lot of lives, but like for me, there's the life before Jason and the life after Jason.
yeah,
That's how I split my whole life cycle. It's before I met him and after I met him. And that dude is so fucking incredible. Like I've got so much love and respect for him. So I'm sorry I interrupted you.
oh,
Like every
because
time
because
anybody
we're on
says
the same
Jason,
page,
I was like,
bro.
fuck.
Because we're on the same page. Like I met Jason when I first moved to San Diego. So I think it was probably 2014. And so I guess it's been, geez, eight
A
or nine
long
years now,
time.
long time. And when I first met him, he would make fun of my business, my fledgling business, and call it like your little pirate ship business. But over the years, he's taken a lot of time to sort of mentor me, offer me guidance, advice. And I realize now, years later, that a lot of he's sculpted the way I think about business, the way I approach business, the types of questions that I ask. Like my point is, I want to give Jason that fucking shout out because, and he does it. He's never asked me for anything in return. All he ever said was, hey man, if you make it big, pay it forward to somebody
That's
else.
it.
And all he ever asked for. And like, he's probably been the biggest, not probably, he has been the biggest sort of business influence over me. Like for years, you know, when I first got into it, as I got better at writing copy, and had some real successes from it, I began to like identify as a copywriter, right? Which is cool, but also very dangerous because, you know, with copywriting, writing in general is a manifestation of your thoughts. It's a manifestation of your creativity, right? Of your clarity. And so it's very easy for your ego to get wrapped up in your copywriting. And as you get better, it's very easy to say, well, I'm a brilliant copywriter. I'm a
the
great
best.
copywriter. But Jason was one of those people who was like, man, you know, don't fucking pigeonhole yourself like that. Because if you get stuck in that mindset as you're the writer, then you'll always just ever be a writer. You know, like you want to give yourself the opportunity to evolve your thinking. So if, you know, from copywriter, from pickup artist to male stripper to copywriter to entrepreneur, and then now to investor in businesses, like you want to allow yourself to continue to evolve.
Yeah.
He's one of those people. That's one of many of lessons I've learned from Jason over the years. I'm very grateful for it. So I want to take that moment.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna cut this piece of the fucking conversation out and send it to him because like it's just been it's been the same for me, man. Like every step of the way, he takes the time to talk to me, to understand what I'm going through, even not even like even on personal fucking level, man. Like he's giving me like family advice, and he's always like, take care of this and take care of that. And even he sees some things and then he just points at me, sees that I'm not in a state to talk about it right now, and he just points at me and says, we're gonna talk about this later. And then he comes back like a day after, you know, everything, the shit, you know, the parting that we get through and everything, is he still thinks about that. And he comes to me, he says, listen, you got to do this and this and do it right, you know. Like I'm forever grateful for fucking meeting him, man. Like he's had such a huge influence on my life. It's crazy. And even like I told him, hey man, you know, like I'm hiring a copywriter for a company. I think he's really good. He says, don't think he's really good. Get him on a call with Julian for 10 minutes. Julian will ask him like 3 questions and he'll tell you if he's good. You know, you don't think because you're no fucking copywriter.
You don't even need to get him on a call with me. Just send me something he wrote.
Yeah, there you go, or something like that. Absolutely.
I'll do that for you, brother, anytime.
Muchas gracias, señor Julian. It's been a pleasure. I'm fucking looking forward to the next time we meet each other. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I hope it's fucking soon. Yeah, and man. When are you going back to? To the States or to Puerto Rico?
I am enjoying the great privilege of having a virtual fucking business right now, and just you know, just to tie it thematically together here. One of the writing principles that at least I coined the fucking term for it that we use with our writers is a thematic congruence, that all the themes that you have in your pitch or your story are sort of congruent with each other. So to have add a little thematic congruence here, you know, to bring Jason back in, one of the things that a couple of years ago, when I started to really like stack some dough, that Jason was like, he's like, we were sitting by the pool right before some conference or something, and he said, you know, Julian, you've learned how to make money. Now you have to learn how to spend it.
That's true, man.
And I was like, at first I thought he was kidding, but then I was like, no, he's not kidding, because it's so easy to, when you're in that building phase, right, of like, I'm trying to, you know, build my income in order to build wealth, right? It's very easy to like, you know, I'm going to batten down the hatches and not spend because I'm trying to build. But at a certain point, you want to start to really enjoy your life, and also have the confidence that you can spend or even spend a lot of money and know deep down that you know how to build it. You can always do it more. You can always, to trust in your future success and to trust in your abilities. And so basically that's what I'm doing now. That's good,
man. That's good.
Spending money.
that's my fucking problem, man. I learned how to spend before I fucking learned how to make, so that's always been my fucking problem. I'm trying to catch up on my fucking spending because I can't start fucking putting cash together and stacking some dough, as you fucking call it, because I fucking spent too much.
What do you like to spend money on, Toro?
Dude, what? Are you fucking crazy? Anything, bro. Anything. Fucking cars, bikes, clothes, traveling, every fucking thing that people enjoy doing. I fucking enjoy doing it 10 times more. I haven't stacked 2 fucking pennies together. The money in my pocket is the money that I have, full stop. There's no... Oh, and of course, I've made a few fucking really stupid investments, by the way, which I'm not sure whether they're gonna come back or should I write them off just now or
have I
or should I fucking keep on trusting that something's gonna come out of that?
Dude, I every time, I mean, listen, I'll just say this is like, and this has been a more recent revelation, is like a few years back, like when I started like initially investing, let's say in the last 5 years, like I was naturally attracted to like the things that could 50x. Like I put a fucking $1 million into Zcash because at the strong urging of a very formerly well-known kind of crypto guru, and that $1 million is worth like, I don't know, because I bought it at like $300, or something.
Oh, you bought it at the fucking top.
I bought it at the all-time high, like a stupid idiot. And I've done a number of, honest admission here, I've done a number of silly investments like that. I've come to the conclusion, so is Andrew, that like really like building wealth and making money, it's boring. It's not exciting. It's not these 50x things. It's fucking S&P 500, bro. It's like the simple shit that's just gonna kind of keep growing here and there. Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
You made me feel a little better, I have to say, with your bullshit. I mean, I definitely felt a little better for the shit that I've done, because it's close to what you're saying there. So yeah. I got one last thing for you before we go, man. I got the marry, bang, kill game for us to play. Okay, I'm gonna shoot out 3 names, and you're gonna say which one you want to marry, which one you want to bang, and which one you want to kill. All right. I don't know how this fucking game is played, by the way. I've never played it. Is it like I tell you the first name and then you say, would you marry, bang, kill, or do I give you all fucking 3?
You have to name all 3. You have to name all 3.
That's not even fucking, that's not that fun, because that's like, then, because you might kill the one that you end up wanting to bang.
All right, let's do it your way.
All right, let's do it my way. All right, so first name, Lady Gaga. Kill you kill fucking Lady Gaga. I knew you were gonna kill her, man. I knew, because you are a twisted motherfucker, man. I knew you were gonna kill that. All right, so she dead, killed. All right, man. Now it's gonna be harder, bro, because the second name,
I just fucked myself, I think.
Hold on, easy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But all right. Let's go second name, Vanessa Williams.
Young Vanessa Williams or Vanessa Williams now?
Ooh, that's you trying to get out of it now, aren't you? Vanessa Williams now.
I mean, she's got to be like 56 now. Let me just see, Vanessa. Let me just look at it real quick. 2 seconds here, bro. Vanessa Williams. She is.
Do your homework.
Fucking 60, bro.
Hey. There was no rules, man.
Like, can I take Lady Gaga back?
No, she did.
Oh, man, she was so hot when she was younger, but dude, she is not aged well. She's fucking 60.
She got money though. You can stop fucking, you marry that, then you stop like worrying about shit. There's no more survival kits. There's no more that, it's just traveling and having fun, man. So what is it gonna be? You bang her or you marry her? I told you it was more fun that way.
I just wish I knew who my next choice was. I'm gonna say,
dude, if you bang her, this is gonna be like this is gonna go viral.
No, I'm gonna think positive, and that you're gonna give me something real good on the next one, and I'm gonna say, fuck. I'm gonna bang Vanessa.
Okay.
Vanessa Williams. And guess what? I'm gonna bang her fucking nice.
Okay. You're a good
I'm gonna
man.
pull out the Hitachi magic wand. I'm gonna slap that shit on there. I'm gonna dance her around the room. I'm gonna do a yoni massage on that shit. I'm gonna get in there.
Oh, she gonna be baking pies for you, motherfucker.
I just want
She
her to
gonna be
sing for me. Some Into the Woods, perhaps.
okay. All right. So guess who you're marrying, man? Because there's no other choices. You know, you gotta marry this one. That's it. And it is Gwen Stefani.
Oh,
dude.
Okay.
Dude, that was a really good choice. I'm telling you, because like Gwen Stefani is like one of my favorite like pop stars from whenever I was growing up, and I put that name in there personally. Like I really loved her. Yeah, she's a little, you know what? This worked out fine. I think this is probably how I would have done it, because she still looks really good. She's a great little singer. She still looks good. All right, I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, she's not that popular. She looks really good, by the way. Like, she's really good. I think she's like marriage material, bro. Like, I really like that girl. I'm just happy you didn't say like Joe Biden or like some. I try to keep it like I try to keep it straight, so that's why I didn't get any men in there. So, but yeah, Gwen Stefani, that would have been my marriage choice at the end. Seriously, nice, brother. Thank you. All right, G. Well, thanks for doing this, and as I said, I'm looking forward to hanging out again soon. If you stay in Barcelona, I'm gonna fucking come and see you. Like half my family is in Barcelona. Like my dad lives there. My youngest brother lives there. So I'll come and see you. But like, please do. I'm going to Slovenia tomorrow. Got to go to hang out with the company about like one of my newest projects, this metaverse that we're building. These guys are building like casino games. So we're going to build like a metaverse casino, and they're going to feed in the APIs with the gamifications and stuff. So I'm going to be like in Croatia again the day after tomorrow for a couple of days, but I'm going to Zagreb this time, not the coast. Okay. And end of the month, I've got Istanbul, but if you're still there, start of October, I'll come see you in Barcelona for sure. Love it, bro. Love it. And I'm sure we'll see each other very soon, regardless. So. All right, man. Love you. All right, man. Thank you for doing this. My pleasure. All right. Thanks, man. Bye. Peace.